Hey everyone, welcome. Welcome to the final installation of this build series for the 1/35th scale Tamiya Tiger 1 early version. Now, I'm finally done. I have to say, it was a lot of fun to build. And of course, it's not your typical build because, of course, I had to strip this tank down, take it apart as much as I could, clean all the parts up, and basically rebuild it. And well, here's the final product. I'm really happy the way it came out. As you can see, I weathered it pretty good, I think. Probably not, it looks like it's really heavy weathering, but I wouldn't say it's that heavy. It's, I guess, medium. And well, as far as body goes, but the wheels of course are really muddy because I plan to make a diorama for it. But yeah, I'm really happy the way it came out. There's a couple of parts that were missing from the kit because, again, I received it from a colleague of mine and there was a few things missing. Of course, the MG34 up front for the gunner was missing, so I replaced that with a MG34 from the infantry figures that I had to do a little research to see what kind of machine gun went in there and if it was a MG34. So cut the muzzle out and glued it on there. So yeah, that's pretty good on that. And I painted that gunmetal. And then of course one of these, well, 3 of them were missing, or 2 of them, but now I can find the one that goes in the back. And this was missing up front, so I scratch built that one. That one's there from the kit. And of course that still moves around up and down. Weathered it pretty good, and I think it looks really good. Of course the antenna, I scratch built that. And it's not glued in place, so I can take it off if I need to transport the tank or something, move it around, whatnot. Of course, you know, the stencils are hand painted. I did use stencils for the iron crosses, but for the numbers too, but I painted all those by hand. Well, by hand except for the iron cross. I'd used the airbrush, but I still had to touch those up by hand with a brush. So those are not decals. See what else can I tell you about this? Yeah, I had some issues before with the first coat of satin finish, so I can, you know, do a wash on it, and I guess the mix wasn't right, or I was too far away, but it turned white on impact. It dried out really quick, so I had to repaint the turret, but now it's all good. Learn from your mistakes, right? So there you go. Of course, these slides broke off, so I re-glued it. I re-glued them in place with some plastic rod. You know, I drilled the top part of the lights and made a hole in the hole, and then just glued it like that, so another little more secure. And yeah, pretty standard way of putting the kit together. Nothing really special. I guess I do need to cover that up. I just saw that now, but that's okay. I'll deal with that at a later date, probably when I finish the diorama for this. But I don't know, what do you guys think? I'm really happy with this. I'm happy with the weathering. It's the first, well, not the first time, but I think it's the second time. Yeah, the second time, because the other tank that I've had was a Merkava, and that was when I was like 18 years old, I think. Did a little bit of rust weathering and stuff, but nothing like this, not even close. So I'm happy the way this came out. Of course, did a wash, did a weathering effects with oil paints and some pastels and some paints too here and there. Yeah, and let me get this aside and I'll show you the paints that I used for this kit. So the base color is Tamiya German Gray XF63. It's acrylic. That looks really good. So, and after that, I just did a lighter coat of this to lighten some panels, give it a little more, not so much of a boring take on the kit, you know, separate the paints a little bit. And then I followed that with a wash of blue-gray from Vallejo. First time using this, so I was skeptical, and as soon as it started changing really blue, I was like, oh man, I messed it up. But it came out really good. So done with that color. Did a little bit of this too, which is gray. Yeah, just a little bit of that, just to break the tone also, and used a little bit of anthracite gray, basically for the parts that I scratch built, because this is all I had when I was at work. But it blended in pretty good. Did a little bit of dry brushing with this too in some areas. And of course the gunmetal for the MG34. And for the weathering and rust, I did a burnt umber. And of course some rust. Mixed it up here and there. And for the chalk block, which I'm guessing that's what it is, I used a mix of wood and burnt umber. And that'll be this part right there. Right there. And it came out pretty good. Let me see if I can give you a close-up of that part. The light will get to it here. Well, I can't really see it that great, but there you go. It looks alright. It's not bad. Better than just all gray. So, and of course, this is the white that I used with the German gray to line up some panels. Give it a little bit of sun-washed paint on the tank panels. Tamiya acrylic X2. And I also used some pigments to weather up and dirty up the wheels and stuff, drivetrain, and also do a bit of a wash for rust. So I used this one, burnt sienna. I used water with this, so that was a mistake. It didn't go on too well. But like I say, you learn from your mistakes. So next time I'll use a thinner. I mean, it went good though, but it could have been a lot better. It would have adhered better. But it came out good. And just a little bit of also light sienna to represent some light mud. And of course, just as I saw this on YouTube, I was gonna order some, but it just so happens that my local hobby shop here around the corner had just gotten these in. Whole bunch of ranges from this. So of course I got this one, and that's basically what I used here. And it works really good. If you haven't used it, I recommend it. You won't be sorry. So yeah, those are all the paints that I used. And for thinner, I used thinner from Revell. And oh yeah, I used this Insignia Red Flat from Pectra acrylic enamel for the numbers on the turret. And that's pretty much it. Pretty much all the colors I used, other than Tamiya Flat Black. So yeah. So there you go, guys. I hope you like it. I know I do. It came out really good. I wish I would have taken pictures when I got this from my colleague before I took it apart and stripped the paint with simple green. But I'm doing that with the other kids, so I'll show you when I get to them. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video and all the other updates on this amazing kit. I said I had a lot of fun putting this together. Had a lot of fun. I didn't expect much, but I pleasantly surprised myself with this. Let me see if I can put this on a white bottom. Maybe it'll show up more clear. Oops. Just give me a second here. There we go. So there we go. There's my baby. Oh yeah, and for the wire cutters I used just a bit of steel for the handles. And of course for the handles and the tools, basic tool setup, I do believe I used I used burnt umber, but then I kind of like went with a light coat of wood. So yeah, so there we go, it's done. Now on to the next one. Now you guys are thinking, hey, those things should be flat, so I gotta fix those too, but I just coated this with matte varnish, so I have to let it dry before I mess with those. But yep, it's done, guys and gals and kids of all ages. Alrighty, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.